Hi there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tammy White from stampwithtami.com and welcome to my online class. Today we are going to be doing some really fun projects. It is my Stamp It Demonstrator group's blog hop and our theme is New Year's this year. And one thing I know personally in New Year's is that I love to bring a bottle of wine or champagne or something to the host whenever we go to a get together with friends. And I really wanted to do something special with the bottles. So I had maybe a little bit too much fun. I hope I get invited to more than one party. So I'm going to show you several different ways that you can wrap and decorate wine and champagne bottles, even sparkling wine. You can do this with pretty much any bottle. I'm going to show you how to custom size the wrappings. I'm going to show you a simple wrap here. All of these are using designer series paper, and they're all using, I currently used the Stampin' Up, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, Expressions in ink designer series paper for this particular one. I'll show you that, but I'm also going to use a different one, a different series of papers, just so you can see how you can just totally make these for so many different occasions and reasons. So in addition to the simple wrap, these two are simple wraps here, I'm going to show you how to do this fan fold. How cool is that, right? Believe it or not, very easy to do. And again, you can custom size it to any bottle. And then I'm going to share how to make these rosette ornament decorations that you can hang on the bottle as well. You can even wrap if you want and hang. There's so many different combinations you can do here, but you're definitely going to be all set for bringing out bringing out the fun when you go to your holiday, birthday parties. Anytime you're bringing a bottle of anything as a gift, you can do any of these techniques, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So let's get started. And as I'm getting started, I'm going to share a couple different things here. First is that I have a free PDF on my blog at stampwithtami.com. And you may be watching on Facebook, and you may be watching on YouTube. You might be watching live. We are live streaming. So hi, everybody. I see you all jumping on board right now, and I'm excited to see you guys. You may be watching the replay, and you can go to stampwithtami.com no matter where or when you're watching it. There's a link in the video's description that will bring you directly to this project page. You can download this PDF. You can get all the information on what I'm using. And I'm going to share how to custom size here in the video because it's easy, and a lot of wine bottles are just different sizes in little ways. In addition to that, the fun doesn't end with this video because it's my Stamp It Demonstrator group's blog hop. And that means that when you pop on over to my blog to get that free PDF, you're going to be able to take the blog hop tour. Super fun and some amazing ideas there. You're going to be able to get lots of ideas and inspiration for your holiday projects. So don't forget to pop on over there and take the blog hop tour. And because it's our blog hop day, we do this once a month, and it's so much fun. I love being able to share. These girls are so talented. I'm so blessed to be a part of this group. And we have a giveaway. So we're giving away the Notes of Cheer card kit. Now, all of our giveaways are free, and some of them have video entries. This particular one is a blog post entry. So in order to enter this absolutely free, pop on over to my blog and leave a comment on this post with the hashtag #StampItContest. And you can enter multiple times simply by leaving a comment on each of the blogs in the hop. So there you go. Freebies, lots of ideas, lots of inspiration. It's a super fun Saturday morning, and I say let's get going with the fun. So I'm going to start with a very simple wrap here. So this is just a simple wrap on a bottle of wine, just to jazz it up, something a little special. And here's another one. I've added a tag to this one. So let me show you how I did it. I have to get my little, this basket is so heavy. I put a basket there so I can easily move them out of the way so we can get started stamping. Now I've got a 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper. So I'm going to be using all the designer series paper that I'm using is from Stampin' Up. It's all available in my online store, and it is, what I'm using today is all 12 by 12. So the bottle that I'm going to be using here is different sized than the one that I made my samples on because they are all kind of slightly different in their diameter and their tall, whatever, where their labels are. So this is the designer series paper I chose from. This is also from the Stampin' Up Expressions and ink design specialty paper, and I chose these because I love the foil in them. So I'm going to trim this down, and I brought a ruler because, like I said, all the bottles are going to be different sizes. So depending on what size you're going to use, I'm going to show you how to custom make it. So I'm going to just kind of wrap around where this label is. So I'm going to go, it looks like it's about a 5-inch label. So maybe I'll cut this down to, let's say about 5 inches. The other thing with this particular design that I chose is that this particular one has a lot of the pattern in the center, and I want to use that. I want to utilize that pattern in the center. So when I cut it, I'm going to cut a little bit off the top first, just for this particular pattern. And then I'll measure in with my paper trimmer here at 5 inches. And yeah, that looks about good there. So I'll save these pieces for other projects. And you know, if I wanted to have more here that I could stamp or write on and use that for a different bottle, that would look really nice too. So just some more ideas for later. All right, so we're going to take this, and again, this is the first one is going to be a very simple wrap. So I'm going to take this, and in fact, it's going to probably wrap around a little bit more than I needed to. If you wanted to trim off this excess because it's beautiful paper and you can use it for other things, you can do that as well. I'm just getting lazy, so I'm just going to wrap the whole thing. But what I also see here while I'm wrapping it is this bottle has a little bit on the top here. This actually kind of goes nicely, so I don't think I'm going to wrap the top of this one, but in one of my originals that I wrapped, it had kind of a red strip up there that didn't go with the pretty paper I used. So I cut another little strip of paper from the scrap that I just cut off and wrapped it around the top the same way. So it's just so that it all matched. But this one, I think this particular bottle looks nice. So the other trick here is I'm going to be using the tear tape. So when I'm putting these on here, it's designer series paper, so it's lighter than cardstock, this particular design I'm going to share with you. And you don't need a ton of this because you may actually be taking it off if somebody wants to see the label or whatever. So I put some right across the center here. And let's see if I can find my little take your pick tool and get the backing off of that. This is just heavier than the seal adhesive. I think anytime you're working on 3D projects, you definitely want a little bit of extra strength in your adhesive. And then I'm going to put another strip just on one side, and this is going to be the side that seals on the top right here. Are you guys getting all ready for the holidays? As we're filming this, it is December 18th, so it's getting very close to Christmas time. So you guys might be actually going to Christmas parties that these projects that we're sharing today will be great for your host. I know I always bring a bottle of wine when we're going to get together. Okay, so this is going to be hard to show. Let me see if I can show it to you here on the lower cam. Okay, line that up for you. Rosé all day. So it's kind of a tall bottle. Maybe I can get you up. There we go. Better or worse? I can't tell. There we go. So I am just going to wrap this around the front, and I'm going to kind of roll back here so you can see. And the thing is, it's a bottle, it's round, all sides kind of look the same, so I guess it doesn't totally matter where the seam is on this one. Just once you make the seam, I make that the back. Not that it matters. So we've got our wrap there, and our bottle is all wrapped. One thing I did on this sample here was I took some words and I stamped them. I was going to do it on the sample here, but I didn't, so it is what it is. But you don't need to. You can put a tag on it. You can put whatever on it. But this one I stamped first and then I attached it. So I stamped some Celebrate New Year's. You could put Christmas and all the other pieces on there as well if you wanted to. All the other reasons that you might be, birthday, whatever it is. So next I'm going to take some ribbon and decorate the top of it. This is reversible. I think it's Pretty Peacock and Old Olive, I believe, reversible ribbon. This is actually Stampin' Up ribbon. It is in my online store. I'm going to wrap it around the top a couple of times. And if I had a tag, and we will be doing a tag in a minute, I would probably add a tag on the top here too. I wrapped it around there a couple of times just to jazz up that top. But since this top was kind of like a silver color, it kind of goes nicely, and I didn't bother putting designer series paper on that part. Oh, yes, Pat, you are absolutely right. I will be, oh, that was not a pretty bow. I will be adding bling bling to this because you know me, and no project is complete without the bling, right? And I know you're the same way, right? Because that's your nickname. Bling bling, Pat. All right. So I'm using gilded gems on this particular project, but I did kind of shake it up depending on what colors I used. And I am going to see if, and you'll have to excuse me just for 1 second. I just want to see if I feel like it's a little bit too bright. Is that a little bit better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Now you can kind of see it a little bit better without the glare. All right, so just take your pick tool and add some of these gold gilded gems around it. This really makes it special because they're 3D, they pop, and they really make it look like, excuse me, it's really something, when you give it to them, it really gives that extra something, something. So I added a few of those just to kind of add that special touch. Just kind of random. You can go all the way around if you want. I'll just do a few on here just so you guys can get the idea. But so then we've got our very special label here. So that is a simple wrap, a very simple wrap. So next on the list, and you know what, before I go next, I'll share. So this is just another simple wrap I did. In this one, I stamped the Celebrate and the New Year's. And that came from, Celebrate is from the Create with Friends stamp set. So I just stamped it in coordinating ink. And the New Year's came from A Wish for Everything. I'll be using this again because I think the two of them together went great for pretty much all occasion products. And then here is another one that I wrapped here. And this one I used Friends Forever. And that also is from that, that Create with Friends stamp set. Right here. I embossed the words in white, and I'll show you how to emboss in just a minute in the next project. But you can see the gilded gems on there and how cool they look on the bottle. I love it, right? So fun. Okay, so that is technique number 1, simple wrapping. Looks awesome, right? But next we're gonna step it up. So next I'm gonna share with you how to make, how to do like a fan fold on the top. How cool is this, right? So with these, I'm using all, let me show you the paper that I'm using with all of these projects, but I'm actually going to switch it up on this one. But this is called Expressions and Inks. It's Stampin' Up creates it, makes it. It's specialty paper, so it's got foil in it. It is available in my online store. I believe at the current date, it's probably on back order, but only because it's so popular, right? It will be coming back. So just if you happen to be popping over there today and it's not there, it will be coming back. The one that I'm going to switch over and use for this next sample, though, is available as of today. It may not be available tomorrow, especially after I make this bottle with it, because it looks pretty fun. But, so this one is Expressions and Ink is the name of that designer series paper, and that's what I used on all of the samples that I'm sharing today. So next up, I have a little baby bottle of champagne. Actually, this is Prosecco. Prosecco is the Italian version of champagne. It's sparkling wine. You can also do sparkling grape juice. You could do anything. It doesn't have to even be, it doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be juice boxes, really. You could wrap a juice box. Fairly simple. All right, so here, I'm also going to add in another element to this. So in addition, and again, remember I said I was switching over the paper. So for this one, I'm using the Simply Elegant paper, which is really cool. I'll show that to you after. I've got Simply Elegant paper, and then I took some foil from the silver foil. It's a collection of there's 3 different colors of silver foil there because it goes really well with that Simply Elegant Designer Series paper. Now, again, all bottles are different sizes, right? Bubble bath, that's an excellent idea. Cindy says you can wrap up bubble bath. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you. Very, very cool idea. So I've got a baby bottle of Prosecco here. But you could do this same technique with a larger full-size bottle, wine, bubble bath, whatever it is. How you want to determine what size you do is you want to just kind of eyeball it. So I've got 12 by 12 here with this, and I'm going to add an extension on with this silver foil. And this particular bottle, so you want to have about, I'm going to say maybe 6 inches on the top. And let me see if I can find where I just Bring my ruler down just to kind of, yeah. I would say you want to make sure you have about 6 inches on the top, and you want to have, I don't know, maybe an inch or more down the bottom here on the bottom of it. And so that can gauge however big. So if you have a bigger bottle, if you only have 12 by 12 paper, you're going to want to cut a larger piece here for the bottom. And just for an example here, if I was doing this bottle, I'd want 6 inches on the top. I'd want to cut a larger piece of silver foil for the bottom so that it will cover the whole bottle. And we have enough there to make the fan fold on the top. So first thing I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to do some textured embossing on the silver foil with the hammered metal embossing folder, which is super cool. And it's literally going to make this look like metal. So this folder is also available in my online store. Super fun. Anytime you do these folders on a foil, they look like metal. They're just really cool. So we're going to get on our Stampin' Emboss machine. Now also, I'm going to show you a little trick with this, because when I go to emboss, the folder doesn't cover the whole piece of paper. Right, so there's still a little piece here that isn't embossed. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to push that all the way in. I'm going to put that on the die cut machine and take the top here. This is the plate. If you're using the Stampin' Up, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it's the number 4 plate, and that is for 3D folders, which is what this is. We're going to place that over the top, and then we're going to run it through. It doesn't look like mine's straight, so let me just straighten that out a little bit, and then we'll put that through again. Oh, hold on. Ha! Some of you are probably saying, wait, you got an extra piece in there. Okay, and I did. I had an extra. I'm like, why isn't it going? That's why. All right, so just so you know, when you have this, and I know all of you know that because you're all probably yelling it at home. You got an extra piece. You only want the platform for the 3D folder and that number 4. I had a stowaway underneath the platform. Okay, now it's going to go through a lot easier. Okay. Right? Super cool, right? But you're saying, right, now we've got this blank piece right here. So let's turn that around. Turn that frown upside down. And so what I did was I took this, so you can see the pattern there, and that line where it ends, just overlapping a hair, just a hair, not too much. And we're going to run it through again. That way we can get the whole folder. So now we've got the whole piece. Looks like a piece of hammered metal, right? Super fun. Love it. All right, so now I'm going to take a bone folder and I'm going to burnish this so that it makes it easier to, because it's going to be wrapped around a bottle. And I just want to loosen up the fibers so that they're easier to wrap. The foil is a cardstock weight and it's thick. And so sometimes when it wraps, it really doesn't wrap nicely unless you loosen up the fibers. Okay. Next up, I'm going to go back to my Simply Elegant Designer Series paper for the original. And we're going to attach the two together. And I'm going to take that tear tape again. The tear tape is kind of the hero of the day today for these projects because I pretty much used it on everything because it was strong. It holds well. I'm going to put a strip there on the back of the foil. And then just peel off the backing. And just line that up and attach it down the bottom. So now we have our two pieces here that are going to, I mean, together, I love the two-tone of this. I love the foil and the Designer Series paper together. Okay, so the next piece of this technique is going to use the Simply Scored tool. So here I've got about 6 inches or more on the top that we'll be using to make our fan fold. I need a tiny little bit at the bottom. So what I'm going to do on the bottom, let me just put that in there straight so you can see it. I am going to do 1/2 inch maybe. Let's do a 1/2 inch. What you do on the bottom here may depend on the size of the bottle that you're using. Like I've got a small bottle right now, so I'm not going to do a lot. But if you have a larger bottle with a larger diameter, you might want to use a little bit more than a 1/2 inch here. Okay, so that is going to be the bottom part. It's going to wrap around the bottom edge. All right, so now I'm going to flip this around and we are going to want that bottle. So the bottom edge is going to be right about here. Again, every bottle is going to be different, so you want to do this around the bottle that you're using. And I guess for this one, I'm going to start at the 6-inch mark, right about here. And do a score line. And then I am going to score, and that's all I need the bottle for. I just needed it for the measurement. I'm going to score at 3/4 of an inch all the way up the top. So every 3/4, I'm going to score. And this is where the Simply Score tool rocks, because you can see how easy it is, right? To just go right down the line, get beautiful straight lines here all the way up the top. So we've got score lines. It's very hard to see that, I think, on the video, but they're there. Trust me, they're there. I'll show you with you in a minute, right? And then, oh, Benny, I'm glad you're here. We've been praying for you. She's got some blood clots that she's in the hospital, and I'm so glad that you're able to watch from there. We love you. We're thinking of you. And I hope this brings you a little smile in your day. I'm turning this, so I've got an 8-inch piece here because I had pre-cut it to wrap around the bottle. So again, your piece might be a slightly different size. So what you're going to do is put a score line in the middle, whatever size you're using, put it right down the middle from the very first score line right here, from here to the top. So in this particular case, since mine's 8 inches, I'm going to do it at 4. I've got my scoring done here. Now, the next thing I want to do is just burnish these, and you know what? I don't know that you need to use the bone folder here. I just want to make sure that they have a good score line for when we put the bottle in there and do it. It definitely helps to have your lines burnished. And then this is the part that's a little bit tricky here, is when you go to burnish your center. Because it only goes to here. You don't want to do this part down here. So let's go right there. Okay. So now you can really see the lines. So you see where they are. Looks easier than what you made, Melissa. These are actually very, very easy to do. Very easy to do. So for this one, I'm going to put a strip of that sticky strip all the way up one side. Doesn't really matter what side, just on towards the edge. Okay, so let's take that off. Boop. And you need to do the sound effects while you're doing it. It's important to do the sound effects. But really, I don't think it comes out the same if you don't. Okay, so now I'm going to start the wrap. I'm going to pull you in a hair here. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. Just so you can kind of see a little bit better while I'm doing this. Okay, so I've got that little score line at the bottom. I'm kind of holding it to that edge, and I'm going to wrap. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to kind of guide this so that it rolls with the bottle. And then we're just going to match. See that right there? See those two ends of the hammered metal? So the seam matches right there. And then you can press. And then, let's see if I can press the bottle down to where that line is. For this bottom, I'm just going to go kind of, it's hard for me to do this while I'm holding it up only because the bottle is sliding down while I'm going, but we're gonna secure this in a minute. You just want to have it there so that the bottle goes right down to the end, right like that. Okay, so don't worry that it's not perfect because we're gonna work on that in a minute. Now here I need my ruler again, and I'll tell you why. I found it's hard to press this down because the bottle's not flat right there and it bends the paper. So when you put the ruler, this is just a little trick here, slide it in there and then you'll be able to use it to press against while you're securing the rest of the paper. And then you just want to make sure that your score lines are matching up. Which, if you matched up the bottom part, they should match up really well. So I'm just pressing against this ruler right here so I can get that adhesive secured right there. Okay, and all right, so now we're going to start our fan fold. Oh, Diane, I'm so glad you finished your shadow box. Our shadow box kit was I do custom kits every month, and that was our December kit, and I loved it so much. And I was so sad that paper sold out immediately after that kit was released, so I wasn't able to do a second release. So I'm glad that you loved it. It was one of my faves. So what I'm doing here is and since we've already burnished these score lines, they should be fairly easy to do. I'm going from the top down, like so. Now, I may need to let's see if I can do it. I'll try to do it this way, otherwise I'll use the lower camera. So remember we made that score line in the middle. I guess you want to make sure you keep that in the middle. And I didn't do a very good job at that. So let me see if I can move. I guess that was something I probably should have said right up. Okay, so make sure that center score line is in the center before you do the roll. I think it's still going to be okay. Before you start rolling your topper. Okay, try that again. Okay, now we've got that score line in the center, the one that we did down the middle, and that is going to be your key to fanning. If you don't do that center score line, I found it's so hard to get this fan to go up nicely, but all you got to do is pinch these two together and bam, there's your fan, right? How awesome is that? All right, so I'm going to secure this together in just a minute. But before we do that, actually, do we want to do that now? Okay, we'll do that part now, and then I'm going to show you how to finish off the bottom part here. So I'm going to take some more of that tear tape that I think is just the key to this whole technique. And it's pretty much the key to everything I'm doing today. Because that's strong. Definitely want a strong adhesive when doing that, okay? And that's gonna hold that up like so. Now, if you want to put a ribbon around here, for example, like this one, I have a ribbon around the front. Some I did, some I didn't. So let me just leave that open for a second. If you want to do that, now is the time to do that. This is the point in this project that you want to add the ribbon. So here I've got some gold metallic ribbon that I'm going to be using on this one because the paper has gold, copper, and silver in it. So it's going to kind of bring that all together. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. Make sure I have enough there to tie the knot in after. The other thing I found that was easier when I was doing this is if you put a tiny little bit of adhesive, and this can be seal, it doesn't have to be the strong adhesive. Just to hold this ribbon in place. All right, so we're just going to kind of eyeball it. This is going to go around. That's going to go up. Yep, we're good. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of seal right here. And I'm going to put that on the seam in the back. Again, we're not going to worry about the bottom part. Oops, sorry. Bottom part sliding off the edge there. Not going to worry about that bottom part yet because I'm going to finish that off in just a second. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to fold up our fan. Little accordion fold there. Pull that right in the middle. Down and boom. I guess I'm going to go with a bow. You can do knot, you can do bow, you can do whatever you feel like on this part. I'm going to add a tag to it after. There we go. See how that bow looks. Now, if you're adding the ribbon, do it before you attach this top piece and then attach the top piece around it. If you're not adding the ribbon, you can add a little bit of adhesive to keep the fan from popping open, the accordion fold of the fan from popping open on you. Yeah, I don't like the bow. I'm going back to the knot. I'm going back with a knot, look. I think this is a lot more special than a gift tag. When you give this to somebody, when you bring this to your hostess or whatever party that you're going to, or, you know, whatever, for whatever the occasion, these might actually make good party favors as well. I think that it's very special. It's a nice special touch. All right, now for the trick to the bottom, I'm going to bring in a circle from the Layering Circles dies. Now this you're going to want to, again, it's going to depend on what size your bottle is that you're using. I've got a little baby Prosecco bottle here. So if you're using a full-size bottle, you're going to want a larger circle. So you're going to want to match up the circle that best fits the bottom, like right about there. I think this, for this particular bottle, I think that's a good size. And then I cut that out of the silver foil, the same silver foil that I used on the bottom here, so it matches. And then you're going to want a glue gun for this part. So we're going to take the glue gun, add, oh, should I get it on the bottom there? I'm a messy glue gunner. Especially messy when I'm live and a little nervous. All right, so we're going to take that and I'll make sure I can do this while I'm on camera. Just add that to the bottom. Tuck in your bottom pieces here. It's hard for me to do this without sticking my head right over it in your way. There we go. And just hold it down there so when you have everything in there. So that's going to finish off your bottom of your wine bottle so that everything stays in place. And then we've got our, oh, darn it. Let's see if I can fix that really quickly. Come back, come back. I might need to put a little bit more glue gun on that to fix that so that the ribbon was, it wasn't exactly in the middle when I put that on there. Let's see if I can. Yay, Lauren, you got your Shatterbox kit. I hope you love it. I just gave mine away as a gift. And I was like, darn it, I wish I had a little bit more. I need to put a little bit more adhesive on this top piece. It doesn't want to stay. So if you have a popper like I have right now, just add a little bit more of your tear tape. Or even, you know what, even the glue gun on the top here would work really well to hold that topper together so it doesn't pop. The glue gun holds everything, right? That's what, when you really need the most possible strength, the glue gun, it is. Forget it. It's not gonna, it's painful to watch me do that, right? Isn't it? I'm gonna use the glue gun instead. There is nothing more painful than watching someone try to tear the back off of adhesive, like the tear tape or the sticky strip, right? When you're watching somebody do a video, like a class like this one, I'm like, just do it, just do it. But I know it's like when you're doing it at home, it's not a big deal. But when you're doing it live, it never seems to come off. It always wants to make a fool out of you. Okay, so Now we got our project here. Oh my gosh, do you love it? I love it. I haven't done this pattern yet. So this was from the Simply Elegant. No, I'm not done. I'm not done. There's one more thing that I want to do on that, and that's add the tag. So let's do that really quickly. I'm going to use a wish for everything since this was a New Year's themed blog hop. I am going to go with Happy New Year's for the words. So I'm going to take happy from here and the New Year's. And we are going to need some Versamark. Use my reach. And we're going to do some embossing on this one. So actually, you know what? I'm going to use something to keep that static down because it is December. I live in New England and it is super dry in my house right now. And anytime you're working with a fine powder like embossing powder, so a dryer sheet, a Swiffer, we used to sell these embossing buddies, anything, just wipe it over the paper before you do this step just to keep that static down. It's so helpful. I call it, if you forget it, you will regret it step. So stamping Happy New Year's. And I'm just going to take some scrap paper here. I'm actually giving these all out. I'm like, I'm doing double time here. So I'm teaching a class, but I'm also making my, my holiday presents at the same time. I love it when that works out. So I'm taking some copper embossing powder from the, this is from the Stampin' Up Metallics collection to pour over the top because this particular paper has gold, silver, and copper in it. So I wanted to do a little bit of everything. We've got gold ribbon. We've got the silver on the bottom, and now I've got the copper to tie it all together. And then we'll just heat that with the heat gun. Got a lot of guns going on today. The embossing gun, the heat gun. Good times. All right, so not that. Oh, I love it. Do you guys love heat embossing? It's just such a thrill. One of my favorite things when I'm crafting because, I mean, it's just so cool. So cool. All right, so then I'm going to take the tailor-made tags. These are our dies from Stampin' Up, and all of these products that I'm using today are available in my online store. So you can get them at stampwithtami.com, but if you click the link in the video's description, it'll bring you right to this video's page. You'll be able to download my free PDF, and they're hot links right to these products that I'm using in this class. So I try to make it easy for you guys. I really want you to be able to recreate these and use things that you like, but get to them easily. Nobody wants to have to do it, hunt and peck for things. Hide and seek. So I cut this out with one of the tailor-made tags. These are essential, right? Somebody was saying I like to add tags to everything, right? You like to add tags. These are essential because you've got tags in every single size. They've got cute little reinforcement pieces, which I'm not using on this. I'm just going to use it plain. So I cut that out with the die. And then we'll take it and I'm just really going to slide it right through where we tied the ribbon. To just tie another knot on there on the top of it. And our fan topper is complete. How cute is that, right? Do you love it? I love it. I absolutely love it. So fun. So again, wouldn't these make great? You could put these if you were having a party, a shower, or anything. You could put these on the table like a bridal shower party. You could. I love the bubble bath idea. I thought that was great. It can be any type of bottle. It really doesn't have to be wine bottle, champagne bottle. So many different things you can do. And I use the Expressions and Ink Designer Series paper. And if you guys watched my class last week, because I've been doing a whole collection of holiday projects that you need during the holidays. We did money cards. I also did gift card holders, and in that I did this one. This is I did a lot of holiday themed ones. You want to go back and check out that video either on my YouTube channel or blog if you haven't seen it. But this particular one, I wanted to share how you could do the same gift card holder for different occasions. So I used the same Designer Series paper, and I shared how I made this gift card holder there. So you can check that out. Oh, hand cream tubes. Excellent, Pat. Great idea. Great. Love it. You guys have so many great ideas. I love doing these lives, right? I learned so much from you guys. I'm just going to show you really quick. This is the paper that I used on the project I just did. This is called Simply Elegant is the name of the designer series paper. It is available in my online store. It is a specialty paper, so it's got foil in it. Lots of fun designs. You could do any of these designs, but it really is elegant. Very well named, right? And I love the foil on it. So that's the Simply Elegant that I used on that gift card holder and on the fan top. And then switching back to the Expressions in ink. This one I didn't put a ribbon on. This one's just simple. I got a little guy slid down there. Put him back in line. So this is from the designer series paper that I used on the rest of them, the Expressions in ink. So these are some different fan topped projects that I did, just to show some different ideas here. There's another one. These all use the same designer series paper, the same one I used on the original, the Expressions in ink. So pretty, right? And again, I was going with New Year's because that was the theme of the blog hop today. But you can do these for any occasion. They don't have to be that. And I'm loving the ideas for all the different things that you can put in these. They don't have to be champagne bottles. They could be anything. And we had bubble bath. We saw hand cream. So the last idea for decorating your bottles that I'm going to share is the rosette ornament tag. So fun, right? So this is a large bottle of champagne. And here's a little baby bottle. I'm going to do the baby bottle for the video. Fits better in the screen. But they're done exactly the same way. Just the measurement is different. That's all it is. It's just a larger sheet of paper for this one. These are super easy to make and they look awesome, right? And it's a little ornament to keep after. So after you're done, giving the bottle and drinking the bottle then, or using the bubble bath or the hand cream or whatever you want to put this on, you've got an ornament or a little something to remember the occasion by. So these are super easy to make, but I'm going to bring in that Simply Score tool again for the scoring on this one. Simply Score tool and the tear tape today. These are our heroes of the day. And possibly the glue gun. I think the glue gun is going to definitely be a hero today. So I'm using the Expressions in ink designer series paper. If you're popping in late, you can actually, I did show this at the beginning. Oh, come back to me, focus. Come back to me. So for the small one, I'm doing 12-inch by 1.5-inch strips. For the larger one, I did 3-inch strips. You can play around with the width if you want to do different sizes. Everything else is exactly the same. It's just a matter of the width, which will give you different sizing. So I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to score it just like we did for the fan top on the last project at every 3/4 of an inch. So this is why I love using this, because it just makes it easy. Just go right down the line every 3/4 of an inch. Perfect. And you're going to do that. So you're going to want 2 of these strips. So you're going to do that on both strips. And then you're going to burnish your score lines. So I've got 2 here. I'm just going to burnish them on this one just by doing the same thing we did with the fan top. Oh, you are awesome. Thank you, my friend. Definitely hit that like button and that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, because I love you guys and I don't want you to miss out on any of these awesome projects. I always have the crafting fun going on in here. All right, so for this one, I'm going to take that tear tape, again, our hero of the day, and we're going to attach these 2 together. I just want to put that on the, I have some glue gun stringies stuck to the end there. Not attached. Oh my gosh, it does not want to stick to the paper today. There we go. Got it. All right, so we want to do that on both of them, and we're going to attach the two together in a circle. It is beautiful DSP, isn't it, Felicia? It does. It makes everything look beautiful. Okay. Now, when you attach them together, here's how you want to do it. You want to take these two ends and attach them like this. Like so. Okay, so that's going to end up being like that, right? So that you don't see the seam. Okay, and then we're going to go in a circle here and do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so this next part is going to be the hard part for me to do on a video. You know, now is where the entertainment part of this class comes in. It's all been learning up until this point, but now is where the fun comes in. You guys are gonna you're gonna have some fun with this one. All right, so going back to those layering circled eyes. Depending on what size you are making your rosette, that's where you want to take this and kind of eyeball it. For this smaller one, I'm doing the smallest of the circles. You're going to want two of those. One for the back, one for the front. Okay, so here is the hard part. I'm flipping these over so they're all ready to go. I'm going to do the back one first. So this is, pick whichever side you want to do the back. I'm going to do the green side out this time, although I guess it doesn't matter because either side could be front or back. They're both going to look the same. But you want to twist it so that it, there we go. Now the only thing, this is why it's hard to do live, if I let go of this, the whole thing's going to pop, right? So you got to hold it until the first one is on. All right. So I'm just holding with one hand, going with the glue gun. This one definitely needs the glue gun. And trying not to burn my fingers. Hold that down. With the smaller circle, it's a little bit more challenging than with the larger one just because it's tiny. And I got strands of glue gun on there. These just peel off if this happens to you. I'm just going to leave it on here just because I want to show you how to do the technique. I'll scrape it off after. Okay. That's going to hold it. Now I don't have to hold it anymore because once the bottom part's in, you're good. So now I'll take the top part. Add some glue to that, hot glue to that. And just hold that down. It really doesn't take long for that hot glue to dry. Definitely, if you have extra hands, the rosette makes it easier. Again, I got some hot glue gun on there, but that's all right for demonstration purposes. You guys get the idea. Okay, so last but not least, I took the word celebrate from that Create with Friends stamp set and embossed it with some gold embossing powder. And then I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. Thank you. Felicia says it comes off easier after it cools. So that's good because that's when I'm going to be taking it off after it's totally cooled. It's cool, man. It's cool. So we'll peel the backing off of that. And we're going to attach that right on there. So we've got our little rosette. And then, whoops, did not mean to throw that. And then to hang it, take a hole punch. Sure, that's in there good. Let's see where we want to punch it right about there. Slide that in, punch a hole, and then I'm going to take some trim. This is the Simply Elegant trim. It actually is part of the suite with the designer series paper I used on the last project. And then, oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys love this. Thank you. Just thread that through. So we've got now we've got our hanging ornament. And we'll take our bottle, and again, it doesn't matter. I'm using little baby Prosecco bottles for this particular one, but you can kind of do this with anything. And I'm going to take another pretty ribbon. You could even take some paper and wrap the top if you wanted to. I'm just going to go back to that double-sided pretty peacock and old olive ribbon and wrap a little bit around the top. And we'll just, oops, thread that right through there. That ribbon's going to hold it on. And the ribbon is pretty too because, right, it's double-sided. So you've got like a metallic-y old olive on one side, and then you've got a pretty blue on the back. And it looks stunning with the ornament on there, this green that we used on this ornament. And that is how to do a rosette. So that is my 3 projects for today. I'm glad that you guys could join in. Let me see if I can pull these in for you. You guys can see them one last time. Especially for those of you who tuned in late, so you know what you want to go back and check out. These are the different projects I shared. How to wrap, a simple wrap on a wine bottle. How to do this fan top. Really cool technique there. This is another simple wrap, and then here's 2 different sizes of the rosette ornaments. And we've had some great suggestions on different things that you could do this with, because they don't all have to be, alcohol at all. These could be, somebody said bubble bath, hand lotion. I guess you could even do it with like a sanitizer. That's going to be popular this holiday season again. There's so many fun things that you can wrap this way. And these are all done with the Expressions and Ink Designer Series paper, with the exception of the fan top demonstration. I used the Simply Elegant Designer Series paper, but both of these are available in my online store, so you can get them there. And don't forget to pop on over to my blog using the link in this video's description, so you can take the blog hop tour with my Stampin' Demonstrator group, get lots of awesome ideas. They have been, the projects are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you can enter to win our giveaway there by leaving a comment on the blog. And you can enter multiple times by leaving it on multiple pages. Make sure you use the hashtag #StampItContest. If you love these ideas, also be sure to check out my VIP club, where I do exclusive classes every month and fun ones to come. We have a new catalog coming, so there'll be a lot of new stuff coming out too. So you guys are going to really enjoy that. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope you've got some inspiration for your holiday projects, so you can make a few more things at the last minute, which was where I was going with this one. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, because we love it when you like it. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your weekend.